Support for Radio Friends comes from Columbia Healthy Smiles, the dental office of husband and wife team Dr. Batson and Dr. Abe, offering comprehensive and customized care to patients of all ages. Learn more by calling 573-721-9039 or online at www.columbiahealthysmiles.com. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on this Wednesday, September the 23rd. As I always say, it's a pleasure to have you with us today, and it's my pleasure to be with you. And I've got a guy who it really has turned out to be one of our favorite guests, JOE Dillard. Now, JOE Dillard, I don't know how you describe him. He has been through so much in your life, especially in the last several years. But he always comes back with a smile. I've never seen you without a smile on your face. You're a cancer survivor.
Yes.
You're a book author, and you came in here today with that Hawaiian shirt to show me up.
Let me tell you, I showed up in a three-piece suit, and your wardrobe manager said, that's not going to work. Let me go back to Paul's wardrobe and see if I can find something.
You're so full of it, Joe, but that's okay. Now, you've written... I guess you've sort of written a new book. Your first book was called...
A Full Cup of Joe.
A Full Cup of Joe. Well, this is a full cup of Joe that's overflowing now with more coffee, right?
Well, the Full Cup of Joe was written during my first cancer bout.
Yeah.
And so during this cancer bout, I said, there's a lot of stories since 2012 that I want to capture, but I didn't have enough for a second cup of Joe. So I call this A Full Cup of Joe refilled with new stories.
Okay, I like that.
The old one's in there.
Yeah, so it's like you're getting a second cup of coffee.
Right.
You still got a little bit of the old coffee left over, so you reread those. And how many new ones are in there?
Over 30.
Over 30 new?
Actually, I don't know. Can the camera show this?
No, well, I see it right there.
Oh, okay.
You got about 30 different stories.
The ones on yellow are the ones that are new ones.
Yeah. So how did you come about these new stories?
They just happened to me, Paul. It's just things that I see or hear. And sometimes when they happen, they're not that funny at all. But then later on you think, but that was really funny.
Okay, so what's some of the most unusual things that have happened to you during this second bout with cancer? Again, some people, you think about you having a bout with cancer, but this guy just keeps laughing and laughing and laughing. And that's what keeps you going, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's important. Yeah.
So what's some of the new ones that are in here?
Well, as soon as I published A Full Cup of Joe, I gave a copy to the library here in town. And no more than a week later, I was over at the gym, and this receptionist was telling me about her dog had eaten a book.
The dog had eaten a book?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it just so happens, this title of this is Dog Consumes a Full Cup of Joe and Survives.
Was it your book that
my book that the dog ate? So she had to buy another one for the library because she got it out of the library.
Oh.
So footnote, I am firmly convinced that 9 out of 10 veterinarians would not recommend a Full Cup of Joe as a doggy snack.
Good. That's good. That's good. Joe, the very first time that you were on this program, I was so impressed by you, and I really look to you as an inspiration. And I know you're here to talk about the book, and we want to sell that book for you, but I want you to address people who are listening or watching who may be going through a difficult time. And you've gone through a lot of difficult time. I don't know if I would have to endure what you have endured over the past 5 or 6 or 7 years, that I would be able to keep smiling like you are. How do you do it? And what's your inspiration? Talk to somebody right now who may be in the same situation that you have been in.
Well, one of the things that's really helped me out is my wife and the family, which are all close by. And so I think part of my striving to maintain my health the best I can is for them.
Right. But you also have to have a very positive attitude, right?
Yeah, and that's amazing because I'm a closet introvert.
I can't believe that. I can't believe that because every time I see you, I see a smile on your face.
Well, it's kind of like the book, though. Like I said before, you see things, you hear things, and at the time, maybe at that time, they're not funny, but later on they are, and so then you sort of start looking for it.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned that your wife and your family, so it's important to try to have a network
Good support, yeah.
a good support group. And if somebody listening may be alone and they're going through a situation,
It's very difficult.
it makes it more difficult. But it's important to keep in mind that there are people out there who care. You can always reach out.
Right.
There are people that care.
It's amazing the people that show up, too, once they find out you're in what kind of condition you're in.
Yeah, and who will reach out to you to say, is there anything?
Almost anything, yeah. Food.
So you keep that in mind.
Companionship.
Yeah. Did you have any stories like that in the book?
No, I don't think so.
Yours are all lighthearted stories, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, let me give you an example here. This is not really a story, but it sort of is, too. One of my favorite things to do is to stretch out on the bed. That encompassing lying flat on my back, hands folded over my chest, eyes shut, and going to my happy place. I have been accused of 1, taking a nap, 2, avoiding work, 3, being unsociable, or 4, practicing my casket pose.
Hopefully not for a long time.
Really, it is whatever the situation calls for. You see what I mean? Something that simple, I can look for the fun part in it.
I like that. I like that, Joe.
I'll give you another one here.
All right. We're almost out of time. Go ahead and give me another one. I want to ask you about the raccoons with the cantaloupes, too.
This is unsupervised mail. You leave them for just a day and you come home to find all the chips consumed, beer cans about his man cave, TV remote fried, answering machine full of messages, no dirty clothes in the hamper, coffee cup stained beyond the ability of best cleaner, paper plate just stashed depleted, front lawn strewn with unread newspapers and unpicked up dog deposits. Then you get home. There sits the man you chose to marry, unshaven, unshorn, and unbathed. And the first word out of his mouth are, "Hey, hon, be a darling and shag me a beer. And while you're up, make a run for more chips." I made that up myself.
Very good.
I don't know why, but
Right, very good. All right, we're out of time here. We're not going to get to the raccoons today. We'll do that another time. But the book, again, is?
It's a full cup of Joe, refilled with new stories, sayings, sights, sounds, and snippets of my life. Modestly embellished.
And how do they, modestly embellished, how do they get the book?
They have to send me a check for $15, Joe G. Dillard, 3535 West Arbor Way, Columbia, Missouri, 65203.
All right, Joe, you're an inspiration. You really are an inspiration to me and hopefully to all of us. Thank you, and come back again, will you?
I sure will.
All right, if there's something you'd like to hear or see, I'd love to hear from you. Drop me an email. That's pepperp@missouri.edu. And when you go out and about, please put on that mask for the sake of others. Bye-bye.